Hello everybody, Zelfie here, and today I am back with more Radical Red content. And today I kind of wanted to get started on a two-parter for this series. Basically, they added a whole bunch of new megas for the Kanto Gigantamaxes and the Galarian Gigantamaxes, so I sort of wanted to talk about all the new megas in the game. I thought it would be a very interesting topic, and it was actually a topic that was requested on my last video, so whoever commented that, congrats. Anyways, so the megas I will be talking about in this video are Butterfree, Snorlax, Machamp, Kindler, Lapras, and just Slumber. I just wanted a 6-ball to throw into here, and Slumber also got changes, so I wanted to talk about it. So let's go ahead and get started with Butterfree. Now, Butterfree has some really good traits going for it. For example, its base 85 special attack got buffed to base 95, which isn't the best, or isn't the most impactful buff in the world, but it does help out quite a bit in making sure that it's gained the extra, special attacking that it'll need. And, of course, you have Compound Eyes alongside Sleep Powder. At level 47, you get access to Quiver Dance, as well as pretty much any move that you'll need. You'll have Bug Buzz, Air Slash is at, level 44, and yeah, you pretty much have every move that you need right off of that. So, let's go ahead and look at Mega Butterfree right here. You still have Compound Eyes, which is good because you want to be able to capitalize off these 98% Sleep Powders and Cypher Quiver Dances. But the stats is really what's making the difference here. You have 60 HP, 45 attack, 100 defense, as well as 100 spin F. So you're actually decently bulky on the physical side, minus your low HP stat. And then you have 80 speed, which is whatever, but you can make up that with Quiver Dance, because you're more likely going to be able to get it at least once, and if you set it up twice, then you'll outspeed most things without a Choice Scarf. And then finally, 140 special attack, which is quite a bit. Keep in mind, Venomoth is also seen as a decent Quiver Dance user, right? At least in mid-tiers such as UU or RU, it's always been a menace there just because of how scary Tinted Lens can be. But keep in mind, Venomoth has only had 90 special attack. So with 140, and granted you're not Tinted Lens boosted, but you're still gonna hit for a lot, right? So that's what's giving Mega Butterfree its niche, is that you pretty much give up your Mega Slot in order to be the best Bug Flying Quiver Dance user, which, to be fair, there wasn't a lot of competition for it. I'd say the best one of those that has ever existed was Vivillon. For similar reasons, you have your 98% Sleep Powder, alongside Vivillon having decent offensive stats and Hurricane. That's what helped made up the fact that, that Vivillon was okay. And of course, you gotta contest Butterfree with the other Quiver Dance users too. There's Volcarona, but Volcarona doesn't have even as much accessibility as Butterfree. Granted, Mega Butterfree does come around the same time you'll probably get Volcarona, but that's, what we're trying to say. But, you can outweigh which one you want more. Of course, you also gotta worry about Mega Butterfree not being able to hold an item. Volcarona will have access to Passion Berry, Heavy Duty Boots, which you get in Victory Road, Lumberry for any statuses, stuff like that, right? Where Mega Butterfree, of course, you not only sacrifice your item slot, but your Mega slot too. So I will say Mega Butterfree falls behind in that niche, but if you really like Butterfree and you like Quiver Dance users, then Mega Butterfree is, probably really, really fun to use if you wanted to. Also, I just looked it up too. 140 is 25 points behind Mega Gardevoir, so it's gonna hit decently strong. Anyways, let's just move on to the next Pokemon. And yeah, I'd say Mega Butterfree is pretty alright. It's not the best mod in the world, but it's plenty viable, at least in my opinion. Anyways, next up, we got Snorlax. Now, Snorlax I haven't even optimized this moveset. I kind of forgot to. But what you want to run is Curse, Rest, and then you could go for any attacking move that you want. You can go for Crunch, Woodhammer, Earthquake, or Return/Facade, whatever one of those floats your boat. And then you can fit in either 2 attacks, or you can fit in Sleep Talk as your last move. Anyways, you might be wondering, why did I mention fucking Woodhammer, right? Hey, hold on. Okay. I'm being dumb. Anyways, Mega Evolve. And you probably are wondering, why did I mention Woodhammer? But that is because they actually turned Mega Snorlax into a grass type, which I find to be at least somewhat interesting. But I'll talk about this a bit more later. And it also has Thick Fat, so pretty much that fire and ice weakness that it would gain, it kind of mitigates that. And instead of resisting it, you're just neutral to it again, which is fine. You're also weak to poison and flying and bug now. I can't remember if grass has any other weaknesses. Yeah, I don't think it does. And for Snorlax's stats, we have 160 HP, 160 attack, 85 defense, 80 special attack, 125 speed F, and 30 speed. So what they try to do, Snorlax, I think, is they try to just make it hit extremely hard, and that is one of its selling points, is that 160 attack. Like I said, Big Gardevoir is 165 special attack, and that mod, with no specs, no item, hits extremely hard with Pixelate Hyper Voice. So, you know, you could say, oh, Snorlax is a similar niche in that area. But one of the issues with that is, one, Big Gardevoir has speed, which is actually relevant. It hits a 110 stat line, or a 110 speed stat line, or 100 stat line, something like that, which gives it a way of outspeeding threats. It also had ways to stall Break into via Calm Mind and Taunt and stuff like that. Snorlax, I don't really think has access to that, and one of those things that's holding it back is, one, its new typing. I don't think it does it a lot of favors. Snorlax is a mod that can serve perfectly well with just, with just its normal coverage and normal stabs and normal resistances. And the grass typing doesn't help fight off what it was weak against before, which is just like big fighting, like hard-hitting fighting types, or maybe a rock type, or some ghost types, depending on what coverage move you're running, right? Grass really does not help with any of those, besides maybe the rock types. But even then, you have Earthquake, which you can use to get around stuff. So, you know, you can still run your Curse, Sleep Talk stuff, or maybe you try to go with a bit more of an offensive set, where you go with, like, Curse, and then maybe just 3 attacks, right? Either way, I really, really can't suggest using Snorlax. I think it's legitimately a downgrade over Vanilla Snorlax, which I would still consider pretty good in this ROM pack, between, you know, the moveset that I mentioned earlier. That works perfectly fine. And you'll have access to your items too. You'll have your leftovers, you run your Chesto Berry for instant recovery if you needed to. Hell, you can even run, like, Assault Vest with 4 attacks if you absolutely wanted to. I just don't see a purpose in Mega Snorlax, and its typing actually makes it worse. Unlike Butterfree, which is, yeah, it's just Vivillon / old Butterfree, but better and cooler. I can't say the same thing about this Snorlax, because it really doesn't do it better. Losing that item slot is way more impactful in exchange for not so relevant stats. Like, sure, your attack is now pretty fucking huge now, and your defense is a bit better, but, you know, you're not doing much with those stats, and that's the issue. So I wouldn't call Mega Snorlax very good. In fact, I'd call Mega Snorlax one of the worst Megas in the game if you had the option to choose a Mega. Anyways, now that we got Snorlax out of the way, let's just quickly talk about Machamp, since I technically had talked about Machamp in the last video too, so let's just go ahead and Mega Evolve. Anyways, this ability, on the documents at least, is called Raging Boxer, but in here it's called Or because you get it from a JoJo reference. And Machamp has 90 HP, 145 attack, 100 defense, 65 special attack, 105 speed F, and 75 speed. The speed tier itself is kind of awkward. It's below a lot of the like average speed mods, like the 80s and the 100s, which means it's probably going to get outsped by a lot. I would also say its typing doesn't lend itself to the most defensive capabilities, but it did get a lot of nice bulk from this Mega Evolution. 100 defense and 105 speed F is not really anything to laugh about, on top of just space 90 HP. But what you might want to consider is that this mod has a lot of potential for just racking up a lot of damage. And if you're not hitting this thing with super effective damage, like for example, if this isn't taking like a stab psychic or something, it'll probably live a hit, right? That is one of the benefits to Machamp here, and it's a combination of Power Up Punch and Drain Punch. Due to Raging Boxer, which is pre-nerf parental mod, but only for fist-based moves, right? So you can't cheese this like double seismic toss or whatever. So yeah, basically you just Power Up Punch, you get your +2 attack, basically a sword stance, and then you can Drain Punch a bunch of Pokemon away. If you wanted to, you can also change Power Up Hit for Bulk Up as well, and that would raise your physical defense, which you can set up on physical mods, and then Drain Punch away, and it'd be slower than Power Up Hit, but give you more security against physical threats as well. Of course, whatever the other moves you want to run are just there. You run Bullet Punch, Knock Off Ice Punch, even Thunder Punch, technically, although I couldn't really tell you which one will be helpful in every scenario. So, yeah, you kind of just have to pick at your own leisure. One of the things I will say about Mega Machamp is that it has a similar issue to Mega Butterfree, where its accessibility is limited to when you get to Power Plant, and even when you get to Power Plant, you have to go through a sort of difficult boss fight. I mean, the dude has like a Zelfie and a Hoopa and stuff like that, so that can be kind of tricky if you don't have the right, like, fast bug types, or, yeah, basically fast bug types for that gym. But I will say, this mod can go on some crack, right? Basically what I just described before, you just become a Drain Punchy monster. You have your stab Drain Punch, you're going to be restoring a lot of HP on top of just hitting extremely hard. I don't have too much else to say about that. Mega Machamp is just kind of cool. I wouldn't say it's the best Mega, but if you want to have some fun, he is right here for you. So yeah. Anyways, next one we're going to talk about is... Oh, I need to swap out. So, next Pokemon we are going to talk about is Kindler. Now, Kindler, also, you kind of have to wait until Surf. That just happens to be the case with a lot of these Megas. So, let's go ahead and Mega Evolve Kindler. I'll just use Agility here. Although, I should mention that I didn't even look at the same stats before I even taught it Agility. As that will play a factor. Also, what you just saw is that Kindler resisted this move, and, if Iron Head wasn't enough to give it away, this is because Kindler now has a Steel typing. Another mod that I talked about in a different video is Samurott. Samurott got Water Steel, and it's sort of similar here. Besides Samurott having the higher crit rate and access to an item, I'd say Mega Kindler has access to way better physical stats, just raw. So you have 135 attack, 125 defense, 50 special attack, 70 spin F, so your special side is extremely weak. Not that your special attack matters, but your spin F sort of matters. And then you have 105 speed, which is actually extremely respectable. And yeah, now you also have access to Tough Claws as an ability to boosting all your physical contact moves, such as Crab Hammer and Iron Head. And you also have something else. Oh, Steel typing, right. So, Samurott is also a Water Steel typing in case you didn't get the memo. And it has an ability called Blade Master, which basically does the same thing as like Tough Claws, except it gives all those cutting moves a, crit ratio to. And so, one of the things I was thinking about for Kindler is that, oh my god, it's probably slow enough that you still want to run agility, but no, you actually don't need agility with 105 speed. You can get away from any sword stance, and then a filler last move. Some moves that you can think about are like superpower. I know this one gets superpower somewhere, whether it's through egg move or not. You can also try close combat, which you might be able to teach via the final move tutor in Victory Road. I'm not sure, but I'm 100% sure you can find a better move than agility here. And you just look like sword stance. And the more and more I think about the Kindler, I'm like, wow, this mod actually looks decently fine. Like I said, it's really just that speed tier that's really impressive. On top of just having a good typing. Sure, you're gonna be weak against especially effective threats, but as long as you're not like Latios clicking Thunderbolt, right? That'd probably still KO you. You'll probably be fine setting up with a sword stance or something, and then just bodying everything with Tough Claw, Stab, SD, Crab Hammer, and Iron Head, and whatever you choose that last move to be. Unfortunately, I will say that a lot of the final like Elite Four members and stuff will probably have mods that can easily handle this. Like, I know for Agatha, you gotta watch out for Marshadow. Bruno would be really tough to set up on just because they're fighting type 2. Lorelei? You can probably set up a Lorelei too, but you might just be better clicking Iron Head on the hail stuff. If you're facing the rain team, then you're just not going to get a lot of leverage against that team either. And then for Claire, you also got to worry about, like, I guess maybe this could take a Naganadel hit. I'm not too sure, but yeah, like there's a lot of scenarios where I could see this being like really, really scary, and there's just other scenarios too where I'm like, well, maybe you have to deal with like one specific mod on their team and it kind of ruins you. So I wouldn't say it's the end all be all answer to the to like your fights, but I'd say it's still a very, very capable mod, and it definitely has the stats to contest with a team slot. I think if you really want to consider it, be my guest. I think Kindler's very, very viable. Anyways, I don't have too much else to say about Kindler. I think it's good. I think out of all the ones I've shown so far, like Butterfree is the most at home in terms of like, yeah, you can use it. But I think Kindler stands out as a mega that you might want to use. Anyways, we have one more brand new mega, and I actually have a lot of personal experience to say about this last mod. And this last mod is Mega Lapras. In case you couldn't tell with it being level 99, I've definitely used it a lot. Anyways, let's just Ice Shard here. Try not to kill it. Cool. So, Lapras got a new change, and that is Water Dragon in both its base form and its mega form. And this is also maxed out HP, maxed out special attack alongside the boss nature. So yeah, so Mega Lapras has 105 attack, 85 defense, 115 special attack, 105 speed, 70 speed. And this mod also got access to some new moves too. I believe Dragon Hammer is now an actually usable move. It might be 100 base power or 80 base power or something. I know Dragon Hammer got buffed, which is the Alolan Executor move that they gave to a few other Pokemon, and this mod gets it. This mod also gets Dragon Dance too, so one of the things that you might want to consider that I really didn't get to try out was Dragon Dance Lapras, thanks to, you know, its pretty respectable attack, which is 1 of 5, only 10 off from its special attack. And it also has the Voice, which allows you to use the moves that I used, just click Boom Burst with your Water Snap, or Hyper Voice too, if you want to go that route. There's a move tutor for that, I just can't remember where. So yeah, what do I have on Lapras since I used the all game? It was alright, I will say. I felt like it's really tough for me to rate, because even against like Blade, which is the first gym that you actually get to use Mega Lapras in, right? It didn't feel that special, right? It just felt like an average mob. The Dragon typing actually felt helpful a little bit, just because it meant that I wasn't going to get Solar Beam by those fire types, and I was, you know, even though Ice and Dragon still... Oh wait, no. Dragon also resists fire too, so I wasn't getting hit by this fire base too. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, it was pretty helpful against Blade. I just think mine got taken out pretty easily because it was slow. You also got Dragon Meteor, and what I found was most helpful was that this mod just like traded often. Like I would swap it in, it would Boom Burst on something, take it down to like maybe 90, and then I Ice Shard it, and then I'd either sack this mod or get like Ice Shard damage in or whatever. And that's why I felt it was most helpful. It's like an okay wall breaker with Ice Shard and priority, and that's fine. But I will say it wasn't exactly thrilling in that department. I think a Dragon Dance set was probably the way to go in terms of getting like a maximum mileage out of your Mega Slot, right? Because now I'm just having a Mega Mod that just, you know, it can wall break and deal a lot of damage, and then maybe it can chip him off. I don't have too much else to say for this. Like, it sucks because I use Lapras a lot, but it always felt like a trade mod. Like, I can guarantee that, like, I can get my damage in, and then I swap out, and I'm good, right? It's just, I don't know. Dragon Dance seems more interesting because you have access to Waterfall and Dragon Hammer. Oh, one of the things I will say, I think Liquid Voice should have been buffed. I think it should have had, like, the Pixelate boost that, like, you know, Mega Gardevoir gets, because Mega Gardevoir has 165 special attack, and this only has 115, right? I don't think Primarina or Lapras would have been broken with it, but it would have been really, really nice to have, and I think that's one of the things that makes this not so impressive. Like, yes, that Boom Burst, but it's just not good enough, right? You just need that small little damage boost that you can't get because you're holding a Mega item, and that's how I feel about Mega Lapras, is that it sucks that you don't have the Pixelate boost, or the Life Orb bonus, is essentially. But outside of that, it was a fun mod to use. like I said, Ice Shard actually comes into help. It comes into play a lot because you are legitimately taking their HP down to 90, and the Ice Shard is just good enough to finish them off. And sometimes you like swap out because you have good momentum on what they're gonna click. And then, you know, you just get the good swap. And then you bring in Lapras later, and maybe it takes out another mon thanks to its priority. So yeah, that's Lapras. Dragon Dance is also viable too. You run like Waterfall, Dragon Hammer, and then I don't know if it gets Earthquake, or if it gets any other move, or any other good physical move, but you'd have to check. And finally is Mega Slumber. Now you might be wondering, why am I talking about Mega Slumber? This is a Pokemon that we all know about. It's because this mod got changed. It's the only Gen 1 mod, or the only Gen 1 Mega, besides Mega Blastoise, sort of. Like, the only difference in Mega Blastoise is now that it has Shell Smash. But this mod's different. So, this mod technically got nerfed and buffed at the same time. Oh, I didn't mean to do... Oh, this one kill anyways. Yeah. So, this mod got both buffed and nerfed. So, it originally had 180 defense, which is extremely high defense for any mon. It might be tied, like, one of the highest defense stats in the game. Only Mega Aggron probably surpasses it, or Shuckle, something like that. But it has a regenerator now, which is so dumb. You can just swap this mon into literally any situation, because it has so much fucking defense, and do just fine. You run a moveset like this, if you really wanted to, or you run, like, Teleport, Slack Off, Future Sight, and then Scald. And you just run, like, the Pivot Slumber set with that heavy-duty boots. It's just because you have Regenerator. Sure, you lose Shell Armor, which, oh, boo-hoo, you're gonna get crit, that sucks. But you're Mega Slumber, right? You have 165 defense, and, you know, that's worse than 180, but you can still pull off the Combine set, maybe kill something, and then if something comes out and threatens you afterwards, you have no fear of swapping out because you just have Regenerator, and that is just so good. I don't have anything else to add on to this mod. You have you can even go with like offensive Combine sets, so you can trade off Slack Off for like Flamethrower if you wanted to. Ice Beam as well, maybe? I don't know. Probably Flamethrower, Scald, and Psychic, or Future Sight are like the best moves you want to go for. And, you know, it's slow, bro. You can do so much with this mod. This mod is just so dumb. Anyways, those are the Megas here. If you want my rating on them, I would probably... Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot I was in Val. I would probably rate Mega Slumber as like the best Mega, even though it's kind of fair to put it here. I just wanted to talk about it since it was in the same categories like Gen 1 ones. I'd probably put Kindler as like the second best Mega. I think it's like, I think Samurott is like close to being good, but Mega Kindler is good. And then you have like Butterfree or Lapras down here. I think they're fine. In fact, I'd probably put Lapras maybe up here, or maybe if you want to consider Dragon Dance better than Kindler, put it up here. If Lapras is Earthquake, then definitely. Or like a physical ice move. A physical ice move would also sell me. But yeah, I'm probably gonna say like Lapras is like the second best. Butterfree is the third. Machamp is the fourth. It's like good, but I think it's a lot harder to use than the other one. And the Snorlax is actively bad. Don't use a Mega Snorlax. And I'll be making a video on the Galarian Mega Evolutions plus Garbodor eventually. So make sure to check that out. Or subscribe to know when you want to see that content. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.